Whoa. stream is starting. The Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions, he loves to sing. Join our Discord and follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful Monday. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you happen to be. I am so glad to be here. I'm having a beautiful day. Any day I can wake up and code with the crew is a beautiful day, and today is no different. You almost picked your nose, Rambles. Get a little closer. Rambles, come a little closer so I can get in there. Get in there. You know what they say, you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. That's just not true, Dramulks. Come here. Let's prove them wrong. Let's prove them wrong, Dramulks. Let's prove them wrong. We can do it together. We can prove them wrong as a team. Dramulks, only as a team can we prove them wrong, but I guess you don't want to. Any day that we can see the Captain Coder stream and we can get to stream ourselves later is a good day. It's true, Dragon Spirit Games. It's true. No truer words have ever been typed. No truer words have ever been typed. Codebug, Dramulk, Siler Atomic. So wonderful to have you here. We do have a fancy mug to chat. Oh, that's good. You guys get to witness my first sip of coffee. I haven't had any coffee today, but this is you guys know I love my John Francisco butterscotch toffee coffee. Smells so good. Smells so good. There it is. There it is. Oh yeah.
Dopamine. Oh, I got that fix.
That's right. We got that fix. Got to get that little coffee in there. Let that go. Hits us wide awake now. Wide awake. Here, watch. Let's get it. Let's listen. Whoa. Whoa. There it goes. There's that coffee. There's that hype. So great to have all you beautiful people here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome in. Welcome to Captain Coder's Academy. BK, Peace on Mars. It's so wonderful to have you here. It's Irish coffee, just regular coffee. Regular coffee. Captain Coder doesn't partake in, that's not true. I don't drink alcohol often. I have had alcohol before, but I don't drink it very often. But it's so wonderful to have all you guys here. Folks, we're almost out of time on Mechanically Challenged. Only a few days left. We've had 7 submissions. Red Mert, Dragon Spirit Games, wonderful to have you here, my friend. Pedota, welcome back to the stream. It says, if you drink coffee, no one bats an eye. If you eat yellow snow, everyone gets upset. Look, what's wrong with eating yellow snow? I was always told don't eat yellow snow, and I didn't understand why. Yellow's my favorite flavor of snow. You know, you ever taste it? Has that like tang to it? That snow, exactly. Dramulk knows around that lemon tang. You know, I don't know why everyone's against all the citrus-flavored snow. Folks, don't forget to get in on a Mechanically Challenged. I'm not sure if this website will actually work for everyone yet. But we went ahead. Got ourselves a little website here for Mechanically Challenged. It's the final stretch. If you want to get a submission for Mechanically Challenged, you got to do it now, because Mooniz and I are going to be on Saturday. On Saturday, Mooniz and I are going to be reviewing solutions and choosing our favorites. And if you're one of our favorites, if you're my favorite or if you're Mooniz's favorite, $50 could be yours. Could be yours, assuming you're eligible, your country allows you to win contests like that. But get in there, get it submitted. If you want to come in and find out all the details, all the rules, you can get in here. You want to come talk to Mooniz or myself, you can join our Discord right there. But how do you participate? Well, let's let the man on the screen talk about it. Let's let the guy on the screen talk about it. 1 second. Hang on. Calm down, guy on the screen. My stream deck is not working. I can't pause the music from my stream deck anymore, and I don't know why.
Is an event hosted by Mooniz and myself, the Captain Coder, in which you are challenged to implement a game of mechanic and share it with the greater community. In this particular month, April 2024, we are implementing dropping through platforms. So the goal of this is to implement in whatever engine, in whatever language that you want to implement it in, a platform in which a character stands on top of it, and they don't fall through unless they press a particular button, down and jump, maybe just down to fall through. Once they're beneath this platform, they should be able to jump back up through the platform and land on top. This GIF here, this little video, shows Dead Cells implementation of it. It may be a little trickier than you might think it was, but the goal is to have everyone in the community attempt to implement this, create a repository full of your solutions. So we'll have a solution for Unreal, we'll have a solution for Godot, we'll have a solution for Unity, we'll have a solution for any language you decide to do, and we'll put those into a repository together and have this as a resource for anyone who's new or wanting to implement this for their game. So how do you participate? You're going to start by creating a fork of this repository. Inside of that fork, you're going to create a folder with your engine, language, and username. You're going to implement your solution and then submit it via a pull request to this repository. Muniz and I will look over your solution, see how we feel about it. We may ask you to make some minor modifications to your repository to reduce the size and structure of it in the group project. And then finally, 2 people will win the Educationally Mechanic Prize. The Mechanic Prize here, Muniz and I will both select our favorite solutions so that you can have an option to win $50 for sharing your solution with the community. Muniz and I have sole discretion on selecting the winner. We can't select ourselves and we can't select family members. I will say that much. What we are looking for are clean implementations that show other people how they might take this and add it into their projects. So clean modular solutions are likely to be the winners. Where can you join and find more information? We both stream on Twitch. So twitch.tv/thecaptaincoder and twitch.tv/Muniz. You can also join us on Discord and join the discussion. If you have any questions, feel free to send them our way. We're looking forward to seeing your solution. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep.
All right, that's Mechanically Challenged, folks. You got a few more days to get in there if you want to be eligible for a prize. Dragon Spirit with the hat redeemed. Let's get a hat added. Boom. Nice. Nice and cozy hat. Get that cozy hat on. Muniz, welcome back to the stream. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited for Mechanically Challenged. I hope you're ready, my friend. Saturday. Be there or be a square when Muniz and I reveal and take a look at all of the Mechanically Challenged submissions. Website looks all right. Yeah, it's not too bad. It has a light mode too. But there's no button for it. But if your browser's set, I'm incredibly Mechanically Challenged. Cozy hats. Best hats, that's right, and 2 nerdy nerds. We got, let's get another hat added to this stack. Oryx. Thank you for the hat. Let's get hat number 2. Hang on, no, we're gonna alternate colors. I feel like I'm missing a hat. I used to have more hats that were black brimmed. I think I have 2 here. I should have 4 total. I don't know what's going on. My hats have been disappearing. Probably the dog. The new dog walking off with it. That's it. That's the ticket. I'll blame the dog. Blame the dog. That's the ticket. You smell that? That was the dog. That was the dog. I promise. Wasn't me. It was the dog. All right, folks. What are we working on today? How's it going? Who am I? Where are my false teeth? I am the Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is Captain Coder. And Captain Coder is a computer science educator. I educate people in the ways of the computer science and programming. Braxton, welcome back to the stream. Smab, it's wonderful to see you, my friend. Oryx, Muniz, all you beautiful people. Great to have you here. Let's see here. Gonna be back to lurky. Gotta do that. Lurky. You know what? I lurk all day on Twitch. I get it. You guys, I have so many lurks. I lurk all day, I lurk all night, I lurk in the morning, lurk in the evening, lurk whenever I can. What are we working today? We're continuing to work on our project here. This is our, do I have a version of it open here? Our tactics board game. So I've made some progress. One thing I want to do, what I want to try and do today is finish up this feature here where I can, I tried to implement it using default drag and drop and it just looked bad. So drag and drop does this, if I can't even like get it to see how it does this weird thing. Let's see if I can get it to do it. It's hard to get it to trigger. And then see how it like picks up. Sometimes it will pick up everything that I want here. So I'm trying to find a way to cancel this. So I'm implementing my own little drag and drop. So we can actually move these figures around by clicking and dragging them here and here. The one thing that's missing right now is the little, I want it to show where it's going to end up if we let go. So it's missing that bit, but we can drag and drop these pieces around the board now. So we have these figures, we can drag and drop them. We can drag and drop them like so. And what I want to do today is I want to get it so as I'm dragging and dropping them, they will follow around the mouse cursor. And then when I let go, it will drop it back into place. Booyah, Grandma, welcome back. In this case, it depends on where you have the drag element defined. Yeah, so I've taken out the drags because I don't like the default way things look when you do the drag and drop because it like, I don't like it, so I'm just going to implement my own. And probably I'm going to find that that is a terrible idea, and I'm going to rewind back to it. I'm probably going to end up going like, you know what? Let's just use the default web browser version. I bet the D&D is when you drag the border. I bet the D&D Dungeons and Dragons. What is? I don't know what the D&D is. When you drag the border. Well, so it'll happen sometimes. So like I'm not on the border there. It's on this, it's just this div here. The drag and drop, duh. I don't know why I saw Dungeons and Dragons. The dragon droppings, that's right. In this context, yeah, that makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking. So I need to add in like a cancel. So you'll notice sometimes it starts doing it like that. I did not drop. Dragon Spirit droppings, that's right. The Dragon Spirit drop. All right, so we can move these things around. Can add new tiles, do some fun stuff. So if I were to add in add tiles, can I? Apparently that's broken now. Yeah. So this is interesting. I was trying to make it a little bit more intuitive. It's stuck. It seems to be stuck on. Let's open this up here. Console. Are we getting errors? No errors. It's not switching back to my tool properly. It needs to be on the figure. Yeah, but I don't like the way it looks. Can I change so when I have a drag and drop behavior attached to something, can I change the way it looks when I'm dragging, right? So I want it to, I don't think it's going to let me do what I want. I spent quite a bit of time trying to get it to do what I wanted it to do. And when you pull it off, it like is this slight opaque thing. There's a lot of default behaviors built into the default HTML drag and drop that I don't like. So this probably don't have my latest stuff in here. But if you can get it working, that'd be cool. I'm going to show you how I am doing it right now. I have this thing called a tool. Okay, so we have this board editor tool. Go for it, Smab. Yeah, I love the idea. And anybody, you're welcome to fork this repository, open up issues, check it out. This is a learning project for me. It's a learning project for the crew. I highly encourage you to go look at it, make changes, fork it. You try and suggest changes as well. So what I am doing here is this is interesting. My tile tool seems to be broken. Let's see if my tile tool works from the start. It doesn't. I've accidentally broken my tile tool. This is where like I need to have some, I want to use, I think I want to try and use BUnit, Bunit. BUnit is a testing framework for Blazor front end. So I think doing some integration testing in my UI might be nice because I didn't even realize I'd broken my adding and erasing tiles here. There's supposed to be these tools that we can select from. So, and then we have a tool manager that we're injecting into our components to trigger some stuff. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. I have an idea. Let's go to our board editor. So our board editor, when we click these, we switch to tools. So we have a tool manager. What's probably happening is that it's trying to get in the position that we were hovering over. I want to disable some stuff Tool manager.mouse up is probably being sent. No, that's not. It's related to this. I'm certain. I'm fairly certain it's this mouse up that is causing it. I have it automatically switching between tools, trying to find context, and so it's related to automatically switching the tool. It doesn't actually have to do with the click because it was working fine. And then I said, I'm going to do a smart thing that'll make it so it I have it automatically doing some things. So I have a feeling there's some weirdness going on inside of here. Hero Fox, great to see you. Congratulations on number 11. Let's see if we can find what the issue is. Hang on, I lost my music too. See if we can get my music back on. Maybe I don't, part of me was thinking music without the music might be better. The other day I had my music off and my views, not that I care that much about the views. It seemed like the views went way up when I had the music off. What do people think? Should I have music on or off? Music on or off? I could have it just on for me and then silence for you guys. That's okay. All right. Because sometimes like having no music is pretty good for if you're multitasking with me. You don't like music? Booyah says music on for us, music on for me, but sing for you guys. That could be arranged. So the question is, okay, all right. So it is. Here's what's going on. Every time I get a mouse up, see, this was an accident here. Every time I get a mouse up, I always switch to the figure tool. So I was trying to do some smart things. So when I click on a figure, I want to switch to the figure tool regardless of what I'm doing. When I start dragging a figure, so this shouldn't be here, I believe. So my mouse up is always switching to my figure tool, which is causing some triggers to happen there. Let's see, did that reload? Add tiles. Yeah. So I was automatically, there's like a copy paste issue that I had. So I was trying to make it smart. So when I click and drag even if I have the tile tool selected, it'll automatically know the context. Same with if I click over here, I'd like to make it if I'm clicking on a tile and that tile's empty, automatically switch to the add tiles tool. And so this was just me setting some stuff up. So we can still add some stuff. I wanted to see if I could actually drag my figures down here. Zeke, live. How are you today, Zeke? Live. Welcome in today. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Yeah, we can't do that. All right, so quite happy that we can't drag into the abyss. It won't let us put stuff in the abyss. The abyss. All right, so I want to get it. I would like it to show. There's a couple different things I can do. I can make it so that if I am dragging something, here's one option. If I'm dragging something, let's go into my figure tool. I'm using something called the adapter pattern. The adapter pattern is a common pattern you can use if you're building like tools. So like I have a mouse. The context, what the mouse does changes if I have the figure tool, if I have a child tool, what the mouse does changes, but I still have the same types of controls. When I click, something happens. When I drag, something happens. And so I have set up this abstract class. Let's go look at the abstract class called tool. I should maybe call it abstract tool. And this has some default definitions. For the most part, the default definition is do nothing or switch to the tool and trigger it. And then I can override these. I can adapt each tool to that context. So on mouse over, so what I want to do in my figure tool here, when we start dragging. We start dragging here. And now I want to override what I was going to do here. All right, so public override void on. Oh, that's right. This won't work because it'll actually maybe it won't. Mouse public override on. Do I already have on mouse over? Oh, I have. I started it down here. I think I realized that this wasn't going to work the way I wanted it to. What I was going to say is if I'm dragging it, go ahead and add that in to that spot. But that makes it hard to drag between the other tiles. And so I think the strategy I decided to come up with, my alternative was going to have a tool renderer. It's going to add in a tool renderer. I could also add in some kind of cursor renderer. And this is going to be drawn based on the context of the tool. And if I happen to be the figure tool and I'm dragging, then I'm going to display the thing I'm dragging on the tile that I'm dragging it on. Is that the best way to do it? So I don't actually want to modify the board until I release. That's one way to do it. I could also make it so it's just modifying the board as I go. I like the idea of it not modifying until I release, and then we have like a preview. So there's like the preview layer. Let's try that. So we have this tool renderer here, and it's going to render based on a context. So it's going to select which render to use. So our tool render, we got to inject our tool manager like this. And I'm wondering, can I do a switch here? Tool manager dot. I don't think we could do a switch here. This would be interesting if I could. Tool manager dot tool switch. I'm curious what it's letting me do it. I want to actually like render a chunk. And so this is why I'm not thinking I can actually just, it'd probably be better to do it as I normally don't do switch statements, but a switch statement might actually be the correct way to go here. And I, in fact, apparently don't know how to write a switch. So we're going to case, and then we're going to go with a, I love switch expressions. I do love switch expressions. This is a switch statement, which I pretty much never use. So if you were a figure tool, okay, if we're a figure tool, I want to render in a particular way. We want to ask the question. So I know I'm a figure tool. Can I do tool, figure tool? Can I do this? Figure tool dot, can I do an and I don't think I can do this though. Dot is dragging. Yeah, I can't do that. I would need to do a little bit more here. But instead, I could do, I believe here I could make a figure tool renderer, and I can hand it off the figure tool that we're rendering. Oh, we actually don't really need that because we have the tool manager that we can inject. So, but I'm going to say, if I happen to be a figure tool, go with the figure tool renderer. I could just write an if statement for this too, right? So I could have just done if tool manager dot tool is figure tool figure tool renderer. So I want to select which renderer to use. Feels a little weird to do this. Let's try this. We're going to try this. We have tools here. Let's create a figure tool renderer. Figure tool renderer. Razor. Okay. I'm just going to select the figure tool renderer. And just for funsies, let's put a div just to see if this is going to work at all. Div style equals width 200 pixels, height 200 pixels, color background color green. All right, just to see if this is working at all. Select the figure tool. It doesn't. Although I'm not sure where it would draw it. If I'm completely honest. Figure tool renderer. Should be picking this up. I can never quite tell. Oh, I need to actually add the tool renderer somewhere. So this is going to be in our board editor. So our board editor, editor content, and then we'll do our, so the question is, where should we put this thing? This is interesting. This is interesting. Hadn't thought about that completely either. What is, let me look at my editor content here. Yeah, so if I put it here, it almost needs to be rendered in the board renderer. So there's different components of it. So I need to put in the board renderer. If I put it here, all right, so if I put it here, sorry, this would be our figure, or our tool renderer. So it actually needs to render on our board renderer a little bit. Let's reload this. Where is it? Are we even getting that? Let's look at our context. Pull this off to the side here just so I have it out of the way. Editor content. It's not being added. Do a hard refresh. And there it is. Saw it for a second, or I thought I saw it for a second. I'm in my figure. Hang on, what's going on? Why am I not getting anything? Editor content. I'm really quite confused. Is it missing the it shouldn't be missing the using. It feels like it can't figure out what this is. Hello world. Hello world, there it goes. Now it sees it. I don't know why it wasn't seeing it before. Stygian, welcome back to the stream. Daily or deadly? There's our hello world. It does show that there is a figure tool renderer. But did I spell this incorrectly? Figure. Oh, it's in this tools subcomponent here. Okay, so it's in this folder, tools. Yeah, so I need to figure out some of these tool renderer. Now it should find it. Now it's going to say in our board editor it can't find the tool renderer. Does it give me the option of using, and this is going to add some crazy stuff to the end of my file, or did it do it properly? There it goes. All right. Okay. Now, if I switch to figure, this is me not knowing how to do the web dev. Well, let me select that. Editor content. It should be hello world. And then why isn't it selecting that properly? Tool renderer, figure tool renderer. This isn't getting added in anywhere. Yeah, time for an imports file. We have one of those. So I've been avoiding using it because that tends to be when my VS Code breaks, because it suddenly can't find anything because these are all partial classes. So I've been avoiding it a little bit, Smab. That has, honestly, I should probably just switch to Visual Studio and live with Visual Studio instead. Which has just better support for doing Blazor stuff. Why is my figure tool renderer? It must be related to this. Let's get rid of this. And this. And we'll do a little P here. Do tool manager dot tool. And that probably will display the class name for us out there. Yeah. But this gives our tool set. There it is. All right. So now the if set figure tool. Okay. Let's add that if back in. If tool manager dot tool is figure tool. Curly braces. We'll try it though. But yeah, the hot swapping tends to be slightly problematic. Oh, when I switch to this, it's not detecting the change. So this component, which is interesting, isn't updating. So in our figure tool, in our tool render, we need to do the following. We need to add in our code. And we'll do override on after on initialized. Protected. Override. Is it public? On initialized. Ugh. Doesn't like this. Needs to return a task. We'll do a void. We'll do this one. We need to register. All right, so our tool manager dot on change. We need to say, hey, if when the tool changes, let's go ahead and redraw this. Probably shouldn't do it this way, but we'll do a state has changed like this. Probably need to add in a second method here. Oh, this might actually be nice. We can say it actually gives us which tool we switch to, so we could have some context there that selects it. Now when I click add figure, let's hang on. There we go. Now it knows. Now it's updating properly. So we just needed to send the notification. Okay, so this tool is loading properly. So here's the thing though. The tool, I want it to draw over here, not over here. And it kind of wants to be able to draw in many different places. I'm gonna have to step away for a second. So I apologize for that, but we'll be right back. We're gonna finish this. Don't go anywhere. I'll return in just a moment. Craxy, welcome back to the stream. Folks, I'm back. Oh, gotta get those hats back on, sorry. The dog needed me. The dog heard me and wanted some attention, wanted some love, so the dog is here. Everyone say hi to Hazel. Hazel, baby. How you doing, girl? Hazel wanted some love, so she came out. I didn't want her to wake up my my partner. I didn't want to wake up the other people in the house. So brought her in here. She probably lay down for a little bit and then get annoyed, be like, oh, I'm not getting attention, I gotta leave. But yeah, nice to see you here, Tafaz. Welcome back, Craxy. Wonderful to see you. Congratulations on 13 and 14. Yeah, we're working on rendering information based on our tool here. So our tool can have, so we can put the tool render somewhere. I'm trying to get this drag to display while I'm dragging. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's interesting. The way I want to do it, I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure how I want to do it. But I'm thinking I can have a component that is just always on the mouse. Okay, so I'm gonna have a component that's always on the mouse here. So our tool render, and this will have some code in it, and this is gonna have our figure tool associated with it. So I'm gonna say that we have a congratulations on your 15th, Sidran. Welcome back to the stream. Great to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a beautiful day out here on this beautiful Monday. So I have some code here. I want to have this be our figure tool. So private figure tool. I'm just gonna call it figure tool, and it's gonna be our figure tool.shared. Okay. I could use injection to get it as well. I like doing it this way because I like knowing that it's a singleton. It's the figure tool. There's not multiple figure tools. There's just the one. And what I want to do is I want to say if figure tool that is dragging. So if we're dragging, I want to render something where the mouse is. So I want this component to always be in the same position as the mouse. So I could have what's interesting here is absolute's not gonna work, I don't think. So I'm just thinking through this here. Thinking through this, the mouse position, I need to track the mouse position as it moves. I need to know what tile I'm in, where I am on the screen to be able to render this at that position. So I'm a little curious if I can get mouse move on the screen overall. Blazor mouse move. Is there a mouse move event? Here's a question. Mouse on mouse move. Okay, so there is an on mouse move event. So we do have an on mouse move event. And so I want what's maybe a little bit dangerous about the on mouse move is on mouse move is going to trigger when it's on a component. This component needs to know where to put this thing. Wondering if it makes sense. Yeah, Rowarts, I'm making our editor in Blazor. I don't know if we'll make the game in Blazor, but I'm gonna have the editor be Blazor at the very least. So having a lot of fun with that. I want to learn new tools. So we try and learn something new here with all of our projects, right? So my goal here is to become better with Blazor because I'm not great with it. I'm not great with web development, honestly. And so I'm trying to find how can I get better at it? What are the things I need to know to get better at this? And I'm wondering here, can I say if my mouse is moving in this? Captain Anosa, welcome back. I'm doing wonderful. Congratulations on number 16, Captain Anosa. The new Brachy's Godot video, and I learned so many small things I missed. Yeah, so it's probably one of those things. I actually reread a lot of the books that I have over and over again because every time you read it, you're in a different place in your life and your different coding experience. You'll get more every time you do, maybe a little bit less. So it's like you don't have to read it in as much detail. But the C# Player's Guide I've read a couple times, and I just think that book is so fantastic. I learned a ton on it. On mouse move here. I want to see. I'm pretty sure this is what I want to do, and then we're gonna have a thing we can register. They recommend, so the question is, who is they? Who is they recommend HTMX instead of Blazor nowadays? Maybe ops for something. I was under the impression HTMX is static sites only. Let me know if that's not true. Yeah, they, right? Who is they? Console.WriteLine, mouse moved. I'm curious and curiouser. Let's go to my console here. All right, so yeah, so now it's gonna go, it fires all the time here. So I'm wondering if we can set up, we can register on this. Right, so we have our tool manager, and our tool manager can get information. We can send information about where our mouse is on the entire screen, the entirety of the screen here. I think I want to do, let's go into my tool manager. Tool manager. Why is there no tool manager? Where is this? Tile tool. Board editor tools. Ooh, I should move this into its own class. This is weird. Tool manager. Sometimes you write code. See, this is the danger of not putting everything in its own file, right? It's like, well, now where is that thing? Okay, and this should probably just be called tool. Yeah. I have heard good things about HTMX. That said, I don't do a ton of web development, so I don't know all the latest tools, the latest things, what I'm supposed to be doing, right? I know the basics, maybe a little bit beyond the basics as well. I've built a handful of web apps. All right, so my tool manager here. So this is mouse over. I kind of want to get a raw event here. Public void mouse moved. I kind of want this, and I don't know what the argument to this is going to be. I think it's our global position. So the question, let's go look here. When I hover over this, it's saying that this should be a mouse. Yeah, it's a mouse event arg. Args. So I'm wondering if this could be utilized. And so if I come over here, and can I say, okay, well, let's just do tool manager dot mouse moved. Call this method, and then I should be able to do we'll call this mouse event. This is our tool manager. Can we add events here on global positions? All right, mouse event dot, yeah, it's screen X and screen Y is I think what I want. Either that or my client X and client Y. I'm not sure which one is. Screen X and screen Y is probably where I am on the screen, so if I had smaller stuff it wouldn't work. So we got to look at these. Let's go look at some of these, see what they are, if we can get to the documentation. The coordinate on the screen, client X, the coordinate of the mouse in the DOM content, in the local DOM content. So I'm not sure relative to the target element. page X. All right, so page X and page Y, I think, seem to be what I think I want. Page X and page Y. So I think that's what I want. So I'm going to create page X. Is this an integer? It's a double. Let's try something here. Public event action. I suppose I could just pass it along here. I was thinking I would do a double on mouse moved. Okay. And this becomes on mouse moved dot invoke mouse event dot page X mouse event dot page Y. So when the mouse is moving, we can have things registered that pick up on the mouse movement. So this will allow me in my figure tool, my figure tool renderer. Let's get an inject here. Inject tool manager. When this thing initializes, protected override void on initialized. I want to register the last position. Public, let's go with the private void update mouse position, double X, double Y. And we will do tool manager dot on mouse moved update mouse position. And then we should be able to deregister it at some point if we need to. So it could be like when the figure tool is selected, go ahead and register it. When it's not selected, deregister it, so we don't have to be listening to it all the time. But what I want to see if I can do is put this on the mouse pointer. That said, I think it might end up blocking events if I do this. We'll find out though. So just for now, position style is, yeah, so this is going to be interesting as well. Position, let's do it this way. Let's go ahead and actually make a thing behind. Let's make a style sheet, figure tool renderer dot razor dot CSS. And this is going to be our dragged component. It's our dragged component. Dragged figure. So we're going to be dragging this figure here. Close to right. Let's do a little test here. Console.WriteLine updated XY. Just so I can see that this is getting triggered. There it goes. So yeah, it is getting updated. And we can see that over here. So my question is, when I click and I drag that, okay, I still get the update when I click and drag, which is a good thing. That's what I want. I'm getting it twice. That's interesting. Did this get, yeah, this is where, is it registering multiple times? I'm still only getting it twice. Is it because, yeah, I'm not sure why it's giving me twice. It's sending this message twice. I'm not sure where I got registered twice. I think I got registered twice, but I'm not 100% sure. That could be a problem. Okay. But let's keep going here. Pull this back here. Pull this off to the side here. Have this on the other screen for my sanity purposes. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It was only giving it once to start with, and then like as soon as I clicked and dragged, I got it a second time. It's almost like a second figure tool. Yes, that's what's going on. Is there a protected override void on? I think I need to do this. After we've rendered, I need to remove it and add it back in. Well, this is interesting. It's like it's creating a second one. It's on it. Method when the component is ready to start having received initial parameters and its parent in the rendered tree. So my question is, how often does this get called? Console.writeLine on initialize. Idrint, welcome back to the stream. I would think that this should only happen once. But we could go look at the life cycle. To see. So what's all right, so it hasn't been initialized yet. No, nothing to apologize for. I might need to, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why it's like, oh, we might need to remove it. Right, okay, so I'm over here. It hasn't initialized yet. It's when I go to add the figure. This is the first time one of these is created.
Oh, I got that fix. Oh.
Yeah, each time that tool is created, it initializes a new one. Because a new one's being rendered in there. So I need to have like a dispose. Because it's creating a new copy of the figure tool render. That makes sense. That makes sense. So there's like a memory thing here. Thank you for the dopamine Oryx. I appreciate it. So the question is I got to go look at the life cycle. Component support implements. Ooh. Let's go look at the life cycle. Component cycle Blazor. So my question sort of becomes, what is the life cycle? So then when we can do a dispose then. On after render. I'm not seeing a Blazor component dispose. That probably dispose. Dispose. All right, here we go. Disposal of JavaScript. Synchronous I dispose. Okay, so we want to do this. Perfect. This is exactly what I want. I think this is exactly what I want. So we want to say, by the way, this thing is a disposable. And it would be cool if it would let me auto, if VS Code could figure out how to do it. Okay. So when we dispose of this thing, we will do tool manager dot on mouse moved minus equal update mouse pointer. So we can remove it from the listener. Remove it from the listener. There's some things I kind of don't like about this. This kind of should be a singleton. We just have to, it's technically not a singleton, but I have to. All right, so I'm getting it once. If I switch back, it stops. Awesome, awesome. And then I come back. Now my figure's listening. Awesome. Mab, thank you so much for the help there. For all your help. 500 beautiful points, my friend. 500 points for you to give to the user of your choice. Okay. So now we have that. We can use that to specify where we're drawing it. That's just smart management, Dragon Spirit. It's just smart management. Look, it's like the, you know, oh man, Huckleberry Finn, I'm having so much fun washing this car. I'm having so much fun washing this car. And kids get in there like, oh, I want to wash. That looks fun. I want to wash a car. Right? It's the old switcherooski there. There's an interesting thing here where I want to have this style, right? So there's something interesting going on here where I kind of want to have the same style of this. So there's like some components. Let's get it working once, then we're gonna refactor, consolidate the code. 'Cause I'm about to have some duplicate code for my figure info. Yeah, it's interesting here. Let's get this thing following our mouse first. Let's get this thing following the mouse. So our dragged figure, we will have some variables on it. I'm a little worried about the absolute, but I think it's gonna be okay because it's within our parent component. X. Is this how we were doing it before? Let's go look at our, yeah, X here. And private double X. Private double Y. Maybe I can combine this into one here. I want to do X, Y, like this. We might have to call state changed. I tend to have a style block. Ooh, I really like that. I think I really like that. I think I really like that actually, because yeah, I think I really like that, Smab. It's a great suggestion there. So you're putting the style block above it. Yeah, Pedota, I'm torn on it. So they have stated, and they, in this case, I think it's Microsoft, has said not to do that. It's not the preferred style unless it's a complex component. They never like switch statements. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really have been. All right, so now we're gonna have a dragged figure. And for now, let's do a width. Again, it's like I'm missing information about the size of this because I'm not doing it inside of my board. So I'm thinking I need to move this. There needs to be like a dragged figure component or something inside of my board component. But I'm just playing around with this for now. Height. Width, height, background color, green, gren. Position absolute. Top is var x. Left, this would be y actually. Var x. Okay. So the question is, enjoy your lunch, Smam. Enjoy your lunch. You always misplace. Oh, the like autocomplete inside of the Razor templates. Date has changed. I think I need to do this. Maybe? Test. It's over here. Still over there. Interesting. Let's have a look at this thing. It's style. Has no. It's missing this X and Y. Yeah, so I'm not sure. All the styles are not on it either. So I don't quite understand that. Has the class dragged figure. Is this one of those situations where I have to do a hard reload? Yeah, now it's in the top left corner. Now it's just not getting the X and Y, so I can see it here in the top left. That style there isn't going to work, or isn't working. I want to try this just for now. See if those variables, we can get those added. Now it's still not. Okay. It has the X, it has the Y. Am I doing something wrong? Yeah, if I put 500 here, it still doesn't do anything. Oh, it has to have pixel on it? Saw! Great to see you, my friend. Happy Monday. I saw you popped into the stream yesterday at some point when I was looking through my logs there, so thank you for hopping in. I typically stream in the morning. If you want to see my schedule in your local time zone, you can see it on the Discord. So if you happen to be on the Discord, there is a schedule tab you can hop into to find it down here. These will display in your local time. Actually, this isn't set up right. These are off by an hour. But they should display in your local time. I'll have to remember to go fix that. Yeah, I didn't realize I needed a unit there on it. So I need to tell it that those are pixels. I need to tell it that those are pixels. Can I add pixel here? Times 1 pixel. Feels weird, but ooh, now everything's broken. I have one monitor here driving me crazy. I need to move to the other monitor, I think, to be able to do it. Only 0 doesn't need units. Gotcha. Did I do times 1 pixel? I did. Oh, because that'd have to be a calc. All right. You can do default value too. There we go. Quite slow. And then, yeah, I was worried that it would be, it's not getting the mouse events. It's like canceling the mouse events now. Yeah, disappointing. Disappointing. Well, thank you for coming by and watching me. I appreciate that, Saw. What have you been up to? What have you been working on? All right, so I want... Yeah, so I may not be able to do it this way. I may have to... Our mouse events are being blocked by this thing. And the... I'm surprised how slow it is. We may scrap this and go back to the web browser's drag and drop. Because I had that working pretty well. I just hated the way it looked. And I'm not sure if we can override the way that looks. What I want this to do is I want it to ignore all mouse events and have it propagate to the thing behind it. Blazor, div, ignore, events, and propagate. So yeah, so I drag this thing. When I release, when I'm moving this around, I still want those events to happen to the thing underneath. I don't know how to do that. Blazor events. Blazor mouse events. Under component. I'm not even sure where to start looking. You use an on mouse event binding to capture mouse leave event for the component. Yeah, I'm not sure where to even start reading to try and find this. I would need to... I need it to send the event to the thing underneath. See, like I can't even click on these buttons. This thing is in the way. Mouse event under div. Mouse event on div under div. How to detect clicks inside boundaries of div. How to click through div. Yeah, because this isn't the parent component of the thing beneath it. This is why I was saying I think I might need to move this into... This might need to be a child Yeah, this is, I don't think it's gonna work. You never update your cursor? It's not a, so that isn't the cursor, it's I'm dragging, this is me testing out, I'm going to be dragging a component. So I'm gonna be able to move the component. So this is just me figuring out how to get it to follow the mouse. That said, I don't, this component is actually blocking the thing underneath now. I could, to cheat, I could add an offset like this, and I think it would start working. Yeah. So now it's registering those events, so it's like blocking it previously. So it is blocking it, which is, I mean, I think that makes sense. In the web browser, you'd expect the thing on top, you click on it, you'd be able to get that interaction. We'd have it offset by just a little bit. Again, also not what I want. Also, apparently, I never turn off the is dragging. On mouse up, yeah, I don't turn off is dragging. I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, so that's actually not terrible. We can see where we're gonna be moving that figure. That's interesting that this one. Wonder why that is. Had like a little crud left over when I let go on these smaller ones that I don't get with the big one. Well, I think it's just the Z index is above it, so I can't see it. That's what's going on there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I can, this is a little bit of what I can do there. I don't like how slow the update on that resolution is, though. So it says, muted desktop audio on OBS and put you on my second monitor so I don't fall asleep. Only got 4 hours of sleep. You should get some rest, my friend. Try and take care of yourself. If your body's saying you need sleep, get some sleep if you can. We do appreciate you hanging out here. I always appreciate a good lurk. I don't know if this is the best way to do this tooling, but it's not awful. I can see different ways we could use this to get information, and like if you're hovering and stuff. Care more about streaming? What does your body care more about? That's what it comes. That's the real question. What does your body want? And so I actually think I need to do this differently. I don't like. There's a couple things I don't like. It's a couple things I don't like. This is one way I could do it. The follow speed is really slow. I don't think that's that big of a deal. But I really want it to be like snapping to the grid a little bit better. Like when I'm going to be hovering over, I think I want these tiles to actually show where it's going. The information about the size of this grid is inside of this component. And our actual information is coming from this component. So we're missing out on that information. So I can't get like this tile size unless I move it up a little bit further, which might be an okay thing to do, but I like it being in the board renderer. I feel one thing that's nice is if I pull it out here, we could do something interesting here where I could have like to delete these things, pulling them out and dropping them into like a trash can or something is an option. That's one way. That's exactly what I want to do, Smab. I want it to, when I pop into a tile, I'd like it to render there. And so I think I want to scrap the way I'm doing this right now. I think Brackeys has their first episode out, Saw. You could go look. Someone was mentioning it just a little bit ago. I think it's Captain Enosa. I think the first Godot tutorial is out. But yeah, I think I want to make it so that I think I want to move the render in here. So I think having it at this level is not what I want. I think having it at this level, I think in my, let's look at my board renderer. I have like this tile render, this figure renderer. The question is, so I'm slightly torn. It feels maybe a little weird if I want to reuse my board editor for the game, and I put a tool. It's already using the tool manager. I guess it doesn't matter. Walks in. Great to see you, my friend. Welcome back to the stream. Happy to have you here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'll probably end up having to do a little bit of abstraction anyway. There's something else too, like having if I put the tool renderer here, I can't have like bonus information displayed elsewhere. Fill in holes. What a cool name. Fill in those holes. You know you gotta. Those holes are a risk you might fall in. Fill in holes. Thank you so much for being here. Marine says to refactor this to use CSS grid, which is what I might try later. Was going to do the for mechanical challenge, but I haven't had the time this up. No worries. That would be cool. Yeah, I was thinking of doing it as a grid as well. Originally, I didn't do it as a grid because it wasn't on a grid initially, but then it was like, oh, it makes sense to do this that way. I think having it as a grid would actually be a really, really nice thing to do. JD, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the heart.
If you want to feel like you're talking with Captain, let me see if I could do my Captain impression. I am not the Captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way like the Captain.
Part of me is thinking that this figure renderer, how can I reuse this? How can I reuse this figure renderer? Thank you so much for the impression, JD. Folks, be sure to go give JD some love. Coding Chemist, welcome back to stream. Congratulations on number 20. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Instead of putting this elsewhere, could I? If you do, Smab, that'd be awesome, but no pressure. And I don't think you feel any pressure. I'm thinking of my board render. Let's go back up to my board editor. Let's take out my tool renderer. I'm just going to get rid of the tool renderer for now. And I think in my board renderer, what I can do is I can actually say, hey, let's have a figure. I'm going to say if figure tool dot, and I think there's going to be some blockage here. There's going to be another slight issue here. If figure tool dot shared dot is dragging, we want to render another figure, right? So our figure tool could say, oh, here is where we are going to put this thing selected. So I have a public positioned figure target. All right, so this is going to be where we would end up putting this thing if we let go. So we're going to have a target we can render here. JD, no, thank you for being great. You're incredible, my friend. We love you. Thank you for hosting the Captain Heart. emote, folks. If you want to get your own Captain Heart, you can do it over on JD's stream. Mars9T. Great to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. So on mouse over, we're gonna say if we is dragging. Really, we care if we're selected, if something is selected here. And selected is positioned figure. Can I do this? Oh, I have an extra. All right, then I can do figure. Target equals new positioned figure. Figure dot element, and then the position that's coming in here, like that. Do the base first. I don't think the base does anything. It like propagates that information around. There's going to be an issue with this where we're not going to be able to drag over ourselves. So we'll have to figure that out, where we get the actual position of the figure. When we're in a figure, we need to calculate what position we're in inside of that figure. But we can deal with that. We can deal with that. There's some more work we got to do here now. On the mouse up, target is going to be equal to null as well. So we have this target moving around, and in our board renderer, we can say, okay, if we're dragging and target. What's interesting? Oh yeah, I can. This is cool. I'm really happy with that. And figure tool dot shared dot target is positioned figure. Then we will do a figure render here. And this is interesting. It's almost like this needs, yeah, so this probably needs to be in our child component. So there's a little bit of an issue here with this piece. The mouse enter propagates that to the tool manager. Like this needs to work a little bit differently. Saying we have two things called figure. We'll call this target. So I already know a problem I'm gonna have here doing this. Oh, and it's not gonna be, we needed like a state changed as well. I think. Let's double check. Let's go into our, yeah, we need to tell. There's so much here. Really should probably just be using the built-in drag and drop. Just didn't like the way it looked. I thought I could do better, but apparently I can't. I can, it's just harder than I want it to be. Because this thing now needs to notify our board render to change. I'm pretty sure. I bet if I, because here, let's console.writeLine target. I did it yesterday. So Smab, I did a drag and drop yesterday, and I just really disliked the way it looked. And from what I understand, you can't really change that without going into JavaScript land. But yeah, please take a look. I'd love to know more. Yeah, so you'll see over there in the terminal, it is dragging around. It's detecting when it moves there. I need to say, okay, and now I need to re-render. I need to notify. I need to notify the thing above it to change. Or one thing I could do is say, hey, I could add something here to redraw. This thing hasn't been added yet, right? So we're getting these on mouse enters in these. So we could do something weird like this. This feels bad. We're not gonna actually do this, but we can do this to visualize it. Oh, I thought we could. I might have to do a full refresh here. Patrick, thank you for the med, JD. Patrick, thank you for your lurk. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Ooh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Is this code not rendering? On mouse enter. This should be running. Changed. This is me being bad at web dev. Yeah. I'm slightly surprised that that's not rendering. I wonder if I do know a little bit of CSS. I know enough to be dangerous. That's what I'll say. So I know enough CSS to be dangerous. My target is not null. Why? This doesn't seem to be running. Hello world. I want to put that inside of like a div. You need a resume, a diploma, and a portfolio. Those are a lot of things that you need. A lot of things to need. I'm really quite surprised by this. What if we do else? All the cookies. So we should have some kind of hello world somewhere in here. Yeah, it's getting our hello world. It's up there. Okay, so I want to watch this section. Savage uncultured. I don't understand this. I don't understand why this is not triggering, why we can't see it. Position, width 100, height, background, color green. Z index. Well, like, where is this thing? Is it just behind some stuff? Z index 5. What does it say here? It's not a positioned. Okay. Okay. I'm so confused. Z index 5. No figure. Not dragging. Not dragging. As soon as I start dragging, we get it. That's my target. I'm so very confused. I feel like anytime I'm doing web dev, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. What's happening? I don't understand. I don't understand why it's not rendering this thing. I am trying to implement my own little drag and drop. So I have, it's hard to test. Okay. So when I click this thing, it is running some events, and it's now attached to where my cursor is. When I let go, it moves it to that position. I would like for it to, every time I move to a tile, for it to draw it as like a demo in that spot. It is triggering the change position. So we see here, it's not. It's not. That if is being triggered. So this if is true. Because if it's not, that's the weirdest part, right? If it's not, I see these big green things that says not dragging. As soon as I start dragging, it goes away. Something about this is not rendering. So in the sub component, there it is. Yeah, there it is. You're correct. This here, because my board doesn't contain this thing. You are correct, Smab. As usual, you're correct. So I put this here so that when I remove an element from the board, it doesn't get drawn. I hate this hack. Here's the hack. No, Smab, you got it. You got it. I had to look closer. You're as usual. I mean, you also don't know my structure. It's fine that you don't know Blazor. You don't know the structure of this program, and apparently I don't know it either. Smab was a better one there. I had an idea of how to debug it, and I would have gotten here. I think I would have gotten here. But Smab, thank you for the help. One way we could do this. There's a couple ways. I could add a parameter that says always draw. No one knows the structure. It's true. That's a very true point. Have you considered just building it in React? I read a thing about how I read something they're like, you should use React instead. There's a lot of people with lots of options here. So what I can do here is say parameter. Here's what I'm gonna do. Public bool always visible. And we're gonna say if always visible or it's on the board. I'm feeling the spaghetti a little bit, Smab. Yeah, we're are you saying my code is spaghettified a little bit, or that React is spaghettified a little bit? Yeah, I'm not satisfied with this. Always visible. I'm really not satisfied with what I've done here. So now I can do this. Yeah, my code. That's what I thought. So I like this. So you'll notice this thing still blocks me, right? So as I'm moving it around, it still blocks me. And it's just because I don't calculate the mouse. You know, when I'm over myself, you know. So I do like this. Feels good. This feels much better. Yeah. Well, we have some commits here. I didn't want to commit until I actually finished a little bit of something. I really didn't like what I did before, so I didn't commit anything. So I really haven't done much, but we do have commits of all of the progress, I think, in general. They may not be in GitHub, but we do have commits. All right. So, all right, we can get rid of this not dragging thing here. This if feels weird. This particular piece of code is the most spaghetti I have, I think. So I want to reconsider how I approach it for sure. I think we can go ahead and add this. So what, you know, so you'll notice it's like getting it positioned in the right spot's challenging. That's a spaghetti code. That's right, Ridge Raider. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's get a commit in here. So we have what I feel is like the first pass of this working the way I kind of want it to. And part of me wants to create, we'll see here. I don't like this if statement being in my board renderer. There's something here that feels gnarly. There's something here that doesn't feel right. And I don't know exactly what it is. But I'm going to do a commit here. Luckily, I don't think I have any or much copy pasta. Okay, so I've added too much stuff. I want to get rid of my tool renderer stuff here. There's some things that I definitely don't want. Tool render can go away. I'm not actually using that. Tool manager, this can go away. I'm not using the changes from this. I did pull it into like separate files, so there's some stuff we can change from that. But yeah, I need to go back. There are certain things that I don't want to keep here. All right, hang on. So I want to get rid of the tool renderer. I'm not actually using. Let's get rid of you. Hang on. Yeah, tool renderer. Figure tool renderer. Apple the Fury. Welcome back to the stream. Congratulations on your new name. We need a little Parmigiano for this code, right? Really add some flavor to it. Maybe some bolognese. Add some bolognese to it. That's right. Got to get the flavor in there. The flavor in there. All right, so my tool manager, I don't want this anymore. So we're going through, we're getting rid of some of the gross things I added that I don't care about.
I got that fix. Whoa.
Fury is not Fury. Apple the Fury? Sorry, I'm misunderstanding. But Apple, great to have you back. I hope you're doing well, my friend. You getting hungry watching the stream? Well, we're gonna not judge people, okay? We're going to not judge people, and I hope you'll want to hang out in us. We're gonna work on being tolerant of other people's, right? So tolerance doesn't mean accepting, but tolerance is being able to coexist with people. Yeah. So let's be friendly. Let's be nice to people. People are allowed to express themselves the way they want to express themselves if they're not hurting anyone. Shy Programmer, welcome to the stream. Great to have you here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. The typer namespace tool does not exist yet because we got rid of that. All right, let's find here. But yeah, Apple, so glad to have you here. Hope you're doing well. Tolerance is the bee's knees, or business, as I like to call it. All right, add. Shy Programmer, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. I'm doing awesome vibes, and I'm having an awesome day. Any day I can wake up and code. It's a beautiful day. You know that. You know how much I have beautiful days with you guys here. Got to get rid of that thing. Let's take a look here. Board editor. We'll add this in. Tool manager. Hope you're having a beautiful birthday. I hope you do something fun for your birthday. That in. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about this. The board render needs a little bit of work, right? Almost feel like we're gonna see if we can find the way to do this, but that's why, we're building this. We have some ideas, we have some stuff. The editor here is a bit of a prototype, and I'm okay with that. Play a lot of chill Minecraft. Nice. All right, so this is a chore. It's kind of a feature. Feta feature, implement first version of drag and drop. Okay. Yeah, I hope it's a wonderful birthday. I'm not a big fan of my own birthday. Let's say that. All right, there it goes. Now it's confused. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna update our figure to be able to determine which tile we are in the figure. We're gonna try to. So you'll notice when I drag this thing around, I want to call it a bug, but the current way it's implemented, when I drag this thing, when I'm moving my cursor, when I'm in a figure, it doesn't know which tile within that figure I'm currently on. And so we need to add it in, so when we move it in this tile, it actually switches tile position. This will be important for accessing props and things that might be under a figure as well. But when I start to click and drag, I want to be able to move to this position more easily. Notice right now, if I want to, let's say I want to move this particular figure so that the top left corner is here. I can't just click and drag it down there because it doesn't trigger the event. I have to move it down first and then back up. Yeah, it's like awkward to get it there because the mouse events aren't firing within this. So I need to do a little bit of work there. That said, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Captain Coder will return. I'm going to get myself another cup of bean water. We've had almost 32 ounces of water this morning, so I think I'm doing pretty good on water. I'd say it's 24 ounces of water. I'm going to fill it up, but we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Captain Coder will return. Hang tight, everybody. All right, we're back. Let's get some stretches in, folks. Captain Coder loves you. Means you should love you. If you love yourself, you gotta love that body. One way you can love that body is give yourself some stretches. See how we got this hat mark? This hat mark from that hat squeeze in my head. I chose a hat that was too tight to start. Let's go and get that stretch in. Reach up in the sky. Oh, go ahead and lean to the left. Lean to the right. Oh, back to the left a little bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. To the right. Bring it back up to the center. Deep breath in. Oh. As we exhale, go ahead and hinge at the hips. Hinge at the hips. Focus on getting that leg, that lower back and glute stretch. Stretch out that lower back. Oh. Just hang here for a moment. Taking care of ourselves. Loving ourselves. Loving our bodies the way they deserve to be loved. If you can touch the ground, awesome. If you can't, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're doing your best. Breathe in slowly. Bring it on up. Let's get some shoulder rolls. Bring those shoulders back. 2, 3, 4. Add the elbows. 2, 3, 4. Full arms. 2, 3, 4. Roll them forward. 2, 3, 4. Add the elbows. 2, 3, 4. Full arms. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. Shake it out. Gotta get up, gotta move. Every 60 minutes, 2 hours tops, 90 minutes, what I aim for. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes it happens. We do our best. We do our best. Thank you all so much for joining me in those stretches. Points. Add all 150 beautiful points for you beautiful people. Let's hop back in here. So, when we are moving the mouse, I would like to detect which tile we're on, even when I'm over an element here. So even when I'm over this element, right now, this will only trigger, and we can add a little thing here to display. See, now it's doing weird stuff. Net clean, it's doing a weird thing here. Where it's saying, hey, by the way, it's intended to be a component, can't find it. You're welcome, Code Mug. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in this stretches. I hope you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. This is a fake error. This error's not real. And it's like I'm gonna have to reload. I'm trying to figure out what is actually causing these. I've not made a website in 1 year and I'm more confused than I would be. Like a year ago, I lost most of my CSS and HTML. Yeah, it's a muscle, right? You got to keep using it. It'll come back faster. That's how I feel every time I do some webs. I'm like, I forget how to do all this stuff, and then it like comes back. Really, I should probably be trying to teach a web development class. I usually teach a simple intro web class for just HTML, a little bit of CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript. But it's usually it's like such a short course, it just keeps the very basics fresh in my mind. It's 8 weeks long, 1 hour a week, no homework. So really, really simple stuff. Students love that class. You don't like videos, like watching video tutorials? See, I don't know why this is not... Might just have to switch out of... Let's kill this. Let's reload. I really wish Visual Studio Code interacts with Blazor better. Going through the W3 schools, I only like research. I'm a person who prefers to do written documents over video documents. I'm with you on that. I find videos tend to lack a lot, and then I have to like go back and forth. And in my reading and stuff, I still go back and forth, but there's something about it for me that is better. to jump back and forth. In a video, it's like you have to like move back, forward, harder to understand. Reading the code's a little bit harder for me in videos. It's just my personal preference. Just my personal preference. Give me a second here. Okay, we're good. We're good. Reading memory remembers better than watching memory. I think it depends on the person. I don't know if that is 100% proven. I don't know though, right? So I know that written memory, right? So taking notes is really important to memory. So I think a lot of people, written memory, so I write in the margins all the time. Sorry, Saw, only I have the power to blur and unblur. Only I have that power. So there's an event that happens. We don't see it here, but when I mouse over these things, there's an event that happens. One of the things that we need to have happen is, rather than having the figure position come through like this, we need to propagate back the position that we're over. So I'm trying to devise a way to do that. We could put it on. We could put the on mouse move event directly in here. I really wish there was a way to have this event, so it'd be really cool if I could just ignore this and have that event pass through. Can we have an event pass through? That's really what I want to know. Does anyone know in web development? Can we, let's say we have, let's go look in here. Do we stop propagation? Yeah, I want. Yeah, I want. It would be really cool. Maybe not. Maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe this causes more problems than I have. I really want my events to hit all of these things. Notice here there are two elements. There are two elements on the screen. There's several elements, but we have right now a tile here. This tile element and this figure element occupy the same space. What I would like to do, what would be really, really convenient, is when my mouse is here, I want the event to go to the tile that's beneath it, right? So this thing's z-index is above the tile. Is there a way to have the mouse event go to both of these, or to just ignore the one above? That's what I want to know. Otherwise, I need to have it be on the board element here. The parent element needs to track it, because I can make it so on mouse move, I could calculate the appropriate position and then send information that way. So notice, even though I am in this cell, it still is, it's hard to see, but my mouse is moving. It's getting those triggers even though it's moving there. And that's just because I have the event firing at this component. But because the figure and the component underneath are not related, pointer events, none. Oh. Pointer events. This is what the type of thing I'm looking for. Yeah. Pointer events, none. Okay. So what I think will happen though, pointer events is specified as a single keyword. A particular graph element can become the target of a pointer event. Okay. So we have auto and none. What are the other values? Okay. So, yeah, I'm wondering if... So I could turn it off, right? So I could turn it off. It's not entirely what I want, because I still want to be able to trigger my dragging event. And if I turn it off, triggering my dragging event becomes more difficult, I think. Or I have to readjust it. Yeah, so I would like for it to happen on both, right? So that's sort of where I'm at with it. I kind of want to have it be both, because technically I'm switching tiles, but I'm still on this figure when I move to this position. So, yeah, the logic here, this is me not knowing what the best choice is. What are the repercussions of doing it one way or the other? I'm kind of exploring all of these things. Here. Ooh, that looks terrible in my... I see. Okay. So I'm considering moving it to the board container. And then but I like the separation of the logic here. In my tile renderer, I kind of... Right? So I kind of like that in my sub component. I say, okay, well, when I click this tile, I do a select. I think I might still be able to have that. I might be able to remove this on mouse enter. Mendoza, wonderful to have you here. Welcome back to the stream. Happy Monday, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I think we can get rid of this and this. I think we're gonna be able to reduce complex by getting rid of that and have it instead be on mouse move. Have a thing here that says handle mouse, or we can just on mouse move like this. We'll add in we'll get rid of you. And we'll do private void on mouse move. And this is a mouse events arg move event like this. And we can calculate the position we're in this way. And let's just double check if that's true. So my tile renderer, all we were doing was getting back we were just getting back our local position. And I believe in our figure renderer, it was very similar. In fact, our figure renderer didn't have anything. We just had explicitly written logic to do it here. So I think this is okay. I think this will be okay. We can calculate our X and Y. Move event from our... One of these is our like local X and Y. I'm not sure. It's like our target X and Y. Let's go see which one is the target X and Y. Relative to the target element. So I think it's this one. I think this is the offset X and Y that we want. Console.WriteLine. Let's do this. Int X, int Y. And this should be double. So pull those out. And then we'll let's take a look at what they are. So my question is, okay, so it seems these are relative to the child component that I'm inside of. Okay. So you'll notice, and I think it's hard to see here, but over here, these numbers are within the tile that I'm moving upon. So it's not the parent component, it's the child component that I'm hovering over. So it's actually, right now, it's relative to this figure. And we really want it to be relative to what's interesting is I can't get this in these. I need to have these ignore on mouse move stop propagation.
Whoa.
True? Is that what I want? Holy cannoli. Fractal Mind Dev. Thank you for the raid today. Fractal Mind Dev. How are you, my friend? Fractal Mind Dev, how the heck are you doing? How's your game coming along? You still working on your adventure game? Folks, if you like retro games, if you like point and click adventure games, be sure to go follow Fractal Mind Dev. You see this heart here? Click it. Click that heart. Be there or be a square, folks. No one wants to be a square. No one wants to be a square. Fractal Mind, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Tony, welcome in as well. How was your stream? Tell us all about it. If you got a raid and run, no worries, but I would love to know what you did, what you're working on, how things are going. But yeah, let us know. If you got links, feel free to drop them. Let me make sure you have permission. I think you should have it, but just in case you don't, there's some extra permission. I'm ImmyCat, or is it ImmyCat? ImmyCat, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Thank you for coming over. Thank you for being here. We are working on a little project. Pylorzan. Pylorzan. I'd like to thank you for following me now. Pylorzan. Thank you for following me. Thank you for the follow. Glad to have you here, Pylorzan. Welcome to the stream. Fractal Mind says, I'm still working on it. Yeah, very close to done. Awesome. Hopefully 3 weeks left. I just added a mini programming puzzle where you feed a hamster instructions to solve a maze. Very cool. Fractal Mind. I can't wait to play it. Is it? So I gotta ask. I don't know if I've ever asked this. Is this a game that we're gonna be able to buy? Is this a game that is going to have like an official release? What are we looking at for it? Because I want to play it. I'm a huge fan of old point and click adventure, the old Sierra games, the old LucasArts games. I absolutely love. Day of the Tentacle is one of my favorite games of all time. Okay. For those of you just coming in, we are working on, and I think I broke it a little bit, so you can't, I don't think it's going to work here. We are working on creating a tactical, what are we doing? What are we doing? I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is a computer science educator. We made a jam game a few weeks ago. And in that jam game, we have a tactical, I'm doing air quotes, tactical, because there's not many tags to it, tactical grid-based combat in this game. So it's on a grid. You select your characters, you move around, you fight enemies. Very pretty simplistic little combat system. We did a vote and we decided we're going to expand on that. So I'm working on building out tooling for creating these things. We're working a little bit on drag and drop right now. I just broke it, so I can't show you what we had. previously, but we're in the process of oh, maybe we can, oh, that had this, like, the old page is actually still loaded here. Cool. So we were working on getting this drag and drop to work a little bit better. Right now, I can't drag it on, if I'm trying to drag it onto itself, it doesn't like that, which makes sense. This game is just a mini adventure, part of a series of 3 mini adventures inspired by Day of the Channel. Very cool. The 4th game after those will be a bigger game on Steam, but for now it's just mini adventures. Thanks for asking. Fractalmind.itch.io. Oh, so we can actually play the first 2? Day of the Sandwich. Oh man, I might have to play this. Fractal Mind Dev. I may have to play this game because I love this type of game. I might have to play this on stream during one of my showcases. I'm gonna bookmark this. Yeah. So we might have to bring you on. And so we can chat about it because I love that. That's awesome. I can't wait. To check it out. Okay. You might just stream it and then I can just watch it instead of playing it. Yeah, the second one will be on there in a few weeks. Yeah, I'd love to see you play it. It's really short. Short is good. Short is good. My attention span is. I don't know. What were we talking about? Anyway, we were working on. We're working on this here. I bet my font's really tiny, isn't it? No one told me to make my font bigger. That's okay. This means no one's actually watching what I'm doing, but that's okay. I can't blame you. Is stop propagation actually what I want? I don't think that's actually what I want. Stop propagation is gonna be, yeah, stopping it there. What I want to do is I want to get my position relative to the parent client, the parent there. It's not offset. What are my different options? Yeah, that's the target element. What I really want is it relative to this component. I might have to. This is interesting. Client X, client Y, let's try that. I'm curious. Client X versus page X. Let's look at what that. It's different screen X, client X. Yeah, I want it relative to that parent component. That's really annoying. Detail isn't really what I want. Yeah, it's almost like I need to do page X, page Y, and then subtract out the relative position of this, which is quite annoying. I feel like we had this at some point and I decided not to do it that way because I wanted it to be on the subcomponent. So the other option could be to take the position from. All right, let's go back in time. Let's go back in time. So I had this. And what we're doing here is saying when the mouse enters this position, we get the relative position. So like almost the figure here, this mouse enter, we're just propagating the figure's position back, but really we want to do it relative to where it is inside of this thing. Okay. So we could do it this way. on mouse, not on mouse, and it should be like find mouse chords, find relative. It has to be on a move though. I'm hating this. Play hard, work hard, Soul and Sword. Great to see you. Welcome back to the stream. Could do it this way. I don't like this either. Mouse move. All right, so we can do this. Void mouse move, and this would be mouse event args. And rather than doing it on the enter here, we could find the position we're in here and propagate that back up. We'd be moving into the position multiple times here. So double raw X, double raw Y. Yeah, args dot offset Y. And this assumes that we don't put another child component inside of this thing. We need to be able to figure out where we are. Yes, Mab, I did. It was so. I'm really disappointed that this is so much more difficult. I had done it with drag events initially. This particular problem still existed with drag events because when I was drag, so this particular problem still existed with drag events. Probably wouldn't have been that hard to remove it. Is when I start dragging it, right? I still have the trouble of like dropping it into the correct div. Right, but just removing it from the screen, from the board when you on drag start would solve that. But then that component just, yeah, it's all, drag events is probably going to be the better way to do it. I still want to finish this way and then go back to it. But I'd love to see your approach. Like I said, the way it looks with the drag events I didn't like. This isn't really that much better though. The thing I'm considering doing, I think, is bad. I was gonna say we could put a little component. I wish it would let me just say get the parent component here. All right, let's go back. We might just need to do a revert. Yeah, let's revert. Don't save. Okay. I want to be able to figure out which tile my mouse is currently over. The mouse position is getting updated by this. On mouse. Can I get... Alright, let's try something here. Tony, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack, or hat started. Keep that head nice and warm. Thank you for the hat. I appreciate it, Tony. Okay. Private HTML element. What would I put to reference an HTML element? Blazor reference HTML reference div component. Not quite what I want. I want a my card, but I want it to be like a div. I want to reference the HTML component. Blazor. Is it an element reference? Okay, so that's the type. Board container. Okay. And then we would say ref board container. I'm wondering, can I want to get context. I want to know the position of this thing on the screen. Private, void, mouse move, mouse event args. Context dot. Yeah, it's like I can't get information about it anyway. So like I'm trying to avoid going into JavaScript land. I want to get the position of this thing on the screen. Blazor get position of element. I want to do it without this. JavaScript. I don't think it's possible. Not sure what you're trying to achieve, but currently there's no way to do it without JS interop. So the question is, what is the cascading value? I don't want this in the subcomponent. I'm not trying to reference it in the subcomponent. I'm already doing that with board, right? So I cascade my board down to them. I want to know the relative position of the mouse inside of this component. All right, so I have args.x. You're almost there, Saw. You're almost there. So offset x and offset y don't get me this information. These do not give me the information that I want because there's a child component. Okay. So when I do this, I'm going to have my mouse move. Oh, mouse enter. It should be mouse move. The delegate now there's something even more wrong. There it goes. Okay. The position that I'm getting is actually relative to the child component. It's the component the mouse event is on. Yeah, it's currently the event the mouse is on. So I don't get my relative position. So I can't, and there's no additional information. Like it's frustrating how little information is on this mouse event. Royku, welcome back to the stream. Great to see you. Correct. So if I just said don't do mouse events on anything else, I can do that. But then all of my logic gets put into my board, And so then I can't utilize like the separation, which might be what I want. Congratulations on number 24, Roku. It's great to see you again. So yeah, there's an interesting thing here. Which might be fine. It might be fine. I might do that because it really only depends on the board, the tool, all the things. So if I go, let's try it real quick. No, it still would be an issue. It's still an issue. I think, hang on. So we could do, what was it? Pointer, events, none. So let's see if pointer events none is what we want. Yeah, so if I set the pointer events to none, okay, so that might be what we want. We could also, yeah, so if I put pointer events none on all the children, the board can manage it for us and just send that in. So we calculate our position. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that's fine. Maybe this actually simplifies. Maybe this actually simplifies things quite a bit. Right? So our tile renderer doesn't care. Right now it really doesn't care anyway. Our figure renderer actually doesn't care. It's actually just about, well, this one actually has some logic on whether or not I'm starting to drag on a figure. So there is some stuff there. We could, yeah, so there's a little bit of something here. And of course my Visual Studio Code's freaking out again. Can't figure it out. I really don't know what causes it to lose itself like this. So starting the drag will be a challenge because that's sort of built into this tool here. It's built into this thing. Because this was a nice way to implement this. Of course, if I move it to be like a different drag and drop, that would be fine. Let's think. Yeah, we have to do more. Suddenly the mouse events directly on this figure go away and everything has to be calculated from the board, say, hey, what's there? And we can kind of do that, but then we need a reference to the figure render to detect certain things. Maybe it's okay, maybe it's not. So it'd be a different approach. I don't know how to fix that aside from doing this and reloading the window. Getting that annoying error to go away. There's like some kind of weird syntax thing going on here. That VS Code is detecting errors in the code that aren't really there. Yeah. And I haven't found a good way to get rid of them. Feels like I'm guessing. Reloading tends to do it. Let's see if this fixes it. Yeah, so it's able... Something about the recompile or something. Let's see if it actually goes away. I hate having to do that. Okay. Yeah, this was a huge issue when I had my students doing some stuff with Blazor. Is getting them to learn that whole reload process and just sort of guessing is painful. Okay. Yeah, now we're not detecting anything. I'm wondering if there's a way we can say, okay, we happen to be in a drag mode now, so we can tell the sub children that the parent is, we're in drag mode. And I feel annoying to have to do it that way. I don't think I want to do it that way. Here's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get rid of that. I am going to go back into my top. Let's discard our changes. And what I think I want to do is my figure renderer, rather than our figure should have a, this event should be sending back a position. I do this. That feels weird. This is the wrong thing. Anyway. Mouth position. Science, how you doing? I hope you're doing well, my friend. We're hanging out here. We're having some fun. If you guys don't know, Science streams. Science communicator, incredible individual. Go check him out. Incredible supporter of Captain Coder. Go give him some love. Science, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing wonderful. Yeah, I can wake up and code is a beautiful day. Today is one of those days. All right, so our drag still seems to be working. What we need to do is in our subcomponent here, this subcomponent should tell us the relative position that we're in. Rather than being on a mouse enter, this needs to be the mouse move here. And this one, it still feels slightly fragile, but I think this is a little bit better than putting in the parent component. And there's multiple ways I could do this. I could even make little subdivs inside of this component that are on top, and those know their relative positions. That would be another way to do it. I think I like this. On mouse move. This is going to trigger this here. So just to make sure. It's going to trigger it now it's going to trigger it too frequently, and probably. Yeah, but we still trigger it. It's just not always in the right spot. Okay. So we still trigger it on there. What we need to do now is say, well, relative to the target position. So let's say double offset X, off X, double off Y, off set. That's weird. Like that. And then we need to translate these down. So this is like a raw offset X. We could also, Now this needs to have the cell size passed down. I hate this so much. It's very frustrating. Because our board render it now needs to be aware of the board render size. So there's like these weird dependencies that are being propagated down that are a bit annoying. So our board render is aware of the cell sizes. Now this code here needs to be well aware of the cell size so it can properly calculate it. If I put little slices inside that managed it, that would be okay too. I know it happens to be 25, so just for testing, I'm going to divide by 25. Let's make these ints. It's going to complain, I think. And this really needs to be our cell size, not this 25. So we need to get that from the parent component. And now we need to translate that. Position, relative, position, position. Let's call it position here. It's going to be equal to a new position. That's actually what I'm doing right now, Smab. It is a callback. In this. So it maybe have it send more information back, right? So this is a callback. I'm trying to get it to send this information back up to the parent component. It needs to know the position, but maybe I can make it so it has, okay, well, it has the position and then relative. You know, position plus relative information. So maybe this callback isn't just a position, but it's a position. Can I pass in multiple event callback have multiple, or do I need to make a double? Yeah. Maybe have it have the mouse args as well. And then we can do something with it. This whole thing's gonna yell at me now. Because then, like this is making the, you know, spaghetti sauce worse. All right, so now we propagate that up. Board render is gonna say, hey, I don't have a thing here. Because now I need a second mouse enter thing to be able to do this. I could do it this way, pass it up. Yeah, the spaghetti's getting bad. The spaghetti's getting bad. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. The flavor, you know, it's spoiled spaghetti. Because now I'm like putting that up here as well. It's interesting. Interesting. All right, let's private void. We could do it this way. Yeah, because now it's like it's. Hate this. I hate this. I'm wondering. This is an interesting thought. This is an interesting thought. Can we? All right, I just had an idea. I just had an idea. I'll push it, yeah. So yeah, I'll push this so you can see what I have. I'll make a commit and push it. I might be able to do... I think I might be able to do this. We're going to adjust. So we have this mouse position. This might be a calculated value. Mouse move. I might have what I consider a better solution. We might have Draco. How you doing, friend? Hope you're doing well. Offset position. We may have an offset here. So when this mouse moves in, so what's interesting is these all calculate. I think that we're gonna have an offset here. Draco with the 9 minutes left. Draco thinks he knows. We could have our offsets be like this. We might be able to do this. Args dot offset X divided by 25. Args, cell size args dot offset Y. Right, cell size. Getting used to C++, it's a really fun language. I've never used, that's not true. I've used C++ very tangentially. Very tangentially. So when our mouse moves, we can get the offset within our current element. And I don't have a thing to add these together. But I could do this, private position, and there's a refactor. I need to make sure we go back and refactor on a regular basis. Cursor position. This is dumb, but cursor position is gonna be a new position, and this is where like being able to add two positions together. Mouse position dot X plus offset position dot X, comma, mouse position dot Y plus offset position dot Y. And now here, this becomes our cursor position. I actually think this might work. There's one other thing we gotta do. Yeah, mouse move here. There's something slightly different we're gonna have to do. Let's see if this can still move things around just fine. It is, yeah, check that out. I can actually, oh, maybe not. An error occurred. Okay. Offset position. And then we can do actually cursor position. We'll do this. Isn't moving the center a better idea? I don't know what you mean. I don't understand the, I'm not saying yes or no. I don't understand what you're suggesting. Oh, because we're just trying to get the dragon walk. I'm going to do that. Eventually, I'd like it to move relative to the position I started from. Can I get it working this way first? Let's add complexity slowly. Add complexity slowly. Learn, and I'm learning, right? All right. Yeah, so check it out. My position now, it is triggering that position when I switch between each different one. It's actually triggering it a lot more often. Which is interesting. So I don't actually start my drag until I leave this element. But now I can, so now that I've started my drag, I can do that. Okay. So there is, when my mouse move, right, so this is not our first version of this either. We've written a couple different versions trying to figure out what is it that I want to do, what makes sense, can I reduce my complexity, and there's going to be a refactor. I'm probably going to end up scrapping this whole thing. We're prototyping right now. Mouse enter is where we actually do this thing. And I think I want to do this. On the boundary, so you'll notice it's trying to do, when I'm on the boundary, it's a little confused. Yeah, there's something interesting about that. Next showcase Saturday, so I can push. It's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. We can say that it will probably be May 18th. That would be the third Saturday. So it will probably be on May 18th, but I haven't looked at my schedule. I don't know what my work looks like that week. So I have a really busy semester, so I may have to cancel it. So it may not actually be until July, because we'll be doing the game jam during June, so there won't be a showcase in June. So it may not be. A reminder so you don't forget. I don't understand. I'm confused, Draco. A reminder of what? Yeah, it could be really good to look at it. Probably. So Draco, it depends on when you sent it to me on Discord. Yeah, I don't have it there anymore. I get a lot of messages on Discord, so I apologize if I missed something. Give me a second here. Yeah, I don't. Reminder so you don't forget your idea. Oh, yeah, I haven't done the Kahoot thing. Yeah. I mean, time, right? It all comes down to time. I appreciate you with the reminder, though. I'm getting closer. It's like, what am I relative to here? I don't understand everything that's going on. I can end up scrapping this. All right. All right. So I'm going to push what I have. We got to wrap it up here. I'm going to have to wrap it up. I got to get to work. So give me a second here to finish what we're doing. Sorry. I gotta get ready for work. Gotta take the dog for a walk. Got a bunch of stuff I gotta do. I did get, if I do a full revert here, I'll push what I have for you, Smab. Let this reload. I think the Kahoot thing could be fun. It's a matter of making sure we have, I gotta make it, right? So it's not like, what does it contain? There's a lot of work for me involved there. This is close enough. I can move it here. I need to find a way to trigger these things. I think I'm gonna end up reverting back to just a pure drag and drop implementation. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna stop here. Let me get this pushed up. All right, so this is I pushed this branch, Smab. This branch is definitely not ready to get merged in yet. But feel free to take a look at it. We'll be back on Wednesday. Let's find someone to raid here. And thank you guys so much for hanging out. You made it to the end. Thank you for hanging out with me. We made a lot of progress today. Last match of my game will probably take 3 hours to beat anyway, so the showcase editor may only be 1 game long. We probably won't even play the whole thing, so I try and limit the showcases to 30, 45 minutes. Yeah, Smab, so take a look at it. I'm not a fan of what I've written there. So let me just say, like, I'm not a fan of the code that I've written there for that. Let's see, who we're gonna go. Let's go check out. Rated C# Fritz recently. Maybe we'll raid JD Does Dev. Horror game here. Give everyone 100,000 points. Maybe. Microraptor Games. We haven't done that for a while. We're gonna raid Microraptor Games. Incredible little game dev going on over here. Let's go check them out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll be back on Wednesday. Do it, Smab. Smab, do it. Do it. You can make it better than I did. We're going to raid here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to take the dogs for a walk. I'm going to have a good day. I hope you have a beautiful day too. See you next time, everybody. Bye.